everybody, welcome to my wrap up for the month of April. Sorry it's taken a little bit of time to get to filming this one, but we're here filming today. So firstly, we have our stack of books here to run through. We had some good ones, some average ones, and one DNF book as well. And we also had 4 books out of the 10 that we didn't get to, which have obviously gone back onto my TBR cart and shelves. The first one was the first Crescent City. That one is actually on my May TBR. Fingers crossed that I get to it very, very soon this month, because we're in May when I'm filming this, obviously. Yeah, I'm working up the courage to do it, actually. The other one was Glow of the Everflame, which is the second book in a series. That one has gone back onto my TBR. Digging Dr. Jones has also gone back onto my TBR. Hopefully we'll get that one month in the future. And Immortal Dark was another one as well. So they were the 4 that I missed getting to, but obviously in the future we will hopefully get to those. That's just something fresh and new that I'm adding into my wrap-ups, so you know what I get to in my TBR, what I don't get to in my TBR. Obviously I'll let you know if I do things, change things up and add things and things like that as well, so yeah. If you see me looking down or at something, it's at my journal here, so I remember what the ratings were and my reviews and what challenges things met and stuff like that. I just need to turn to the review section now, actually. So, have a settle down and a break. I'm just finding the quick review section. So that we can do the lower rated ones. Okay, so I usually go by order of what I read books in. I just like doing it that way. The first book that I read was a book for my local book club. For the month of April, I just did the fantasy read. The romance one didn't really attract me in any sort of way. However, I did read the fantasy one, which is called Artful Young Rogues. It's by Liam Porter. He's actually a very local author in the same place as myself. So yeah, it was interesting reading a book by him. And yeah, obviously supporting an indie author and a very local author as well. I think the romance one was actually by a very local author as well, so yeah. I rated this one 3 stars. It was okay. It was, by the description, it was meant to be like based on like boats and ships and that kind of vibe with the fantasy element. It took a very different take. It took a very armory, help if I could talk. It took a very army, navy kind of vibe to it. And I did read the author's note, you know how they have like about the authors in there. He is actually like from that kind of profession and experience, so it was understandable that that was incorporated into the book, but it wasn't as I thought it was going to be. Like, normally your fantasy is based on ships and stuff, or like pirates and weird monster animals and you know, that kind of vibe. The adventure kind of side of it was a bit average as well. Yeah, the writing was okay. It was just sometimes I had to like stop for a bit and think, because sometimes the male character, he was coming across as older, whereas he's just like a kid, so the writing like threw me a bit with that. So yeah, an average one, 3 stars, but always a good idea to support indie authors and local authors, give them a shot, and yeah, that kind of thing. We then went into the Baby Dragon Bakery. This is the second book in the Baby Dragon series. I read the first one last year. This one was also 3 stars. It wasn't as exciting and as fun as the first one was. Wasn't as engaging, the story. It was still a cute story. I just didn't connect to these 2 different characters very well. And the first one was, to me, more entertaining. So yeah. And just so you know, I did give the first one a 5-star rating, and this one obviously a 3. So yeah, they are cute, quick reads though, which is good for like balancing things out when you just want something quick, fast, entertaining, a break from all the you know, big things that you read sometimes. The next one is My Roommate is a Vampire. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I love my vampire theme. I'm just going to find it in my other section, because I gave it 5 stars, so it went on my Hall of Fame as well. I have a Hall of Fame that I put in my journal. I loved this. This is a part of a trilogy, so I'm really looking forward to the other 2 books in the trilogy. Yeah. So what have I said in here? I popped it under one of my challenges for a new author for romance, because she was a new author for me. I loved both the main characters. What else? It was a fun story, quick paced as well. It was entertaining, lots of fun, and yeah, it was just, I just loved the whole thing. It's pretty much all I said. Just a great fun time. So yeah, that's My Roommate is a Vampire. I can't wait to read the other 2, which are my Vampire Plus One and Road Trip with a Vampire. Really looking forward to that third one. That title just sounds really good. Sadly, the next one is a DNF. I've had this gorgeous book in my TBR for a couple of years, and I popped it on my 2026 list, hoping that I would get to it. It sounded really good, the description of it, but the actual reading of it was very YA. It was even a bit middle grade. It kind of gave me, when I attempted 6 Crimson Cranes, that kind of vibe with the writing. Like, it was very middle grade YA in that very young age range, and it was just really boring. Like, the story was going nowhere. And yeah, the characters were just really, yeah, I didn't link to anything at all. It's a gorgeous book, obviously, so hopefully I can sell it to someone because it's so gorgeous. But yeah, sadly I didn't make it past. Where did I get to? I got to page 119, so I gave it a pretty good shot. Like I usually give books around the 100-page mark to make a call if I need to. So yeah, sadly that one was a DNF, but I gave it a go, so yeah. This next one though, this was amazing. I gave it 5 stars to Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. This is the second in the duology. The first one is One Dark Window, the Sugar King duology. I had this duet of books on my TBR for over 2 years probably, or at least 2 years. Finally got to the this year in 2026, which is good. Yeah, 5 stars, loved it. I popped it down on 2 challenges. My A to Z for the letter T, because obviously 2 Twisted Crown starts with T. And I'm also doing a Disney challenge just on this side, just for a little bit of fun. I'm not panicked if I don't cover it, but I put it under a Wonderland, which is a fantasy book. And yeah, I just loved the atmospheric setting, the start, the storyline. I like how they used the cards for the characters in the storyline, and it just all came about more in the second book. The first one, One Dark Window, I gave 4.5 stars. I think that's because there was more world building and stuff in that one, whereas this second one, like, the story just like continued on. It got serious and got really into it, and the card usage and stuff like that. Yeah, they were both really good though. Great duology if you are looking for something like that. So most of my month was spent doing something very different. As you can see, there's tabs all on the side of this one. This is Twilight, obviously by Stephanie Meyer. Obviously I know the Twilight series very well, but I found these gorgeous red sprayed edges at an op shop one day, and they were only like $2 each. I was like and I just, because I'm in my vampire era, as I keep saying, I wanted to do a reread of Twilight. I've read them like centuries ago when I was a teenager, growing up with each of the movies coming out and stuff like that. So I did read the majority of the books then. But this time I thought I'd do, for the first time ever, I might add, first time ever, doing a annotation, as the word, in the book. So I kind of just looked up on other things that people were doing, and then I created a bit myself. So I've got 6 categories that I was looking at, and I will continue doing it actually for the rest of the Twilight books, because it was a fun experience. I just thought I too would start annotation with a book and a series that I was familiar with, just to get it rolling before I did any new books. So one category was vampire or Team Edward. The next category was werewolf, Team Jacob. And then I had a favorite parts section, a movie scene section, so like, this was in the movie or this wasn't in the movie, that kind of thing. And then just like an interesting section. And as I was reading, I added a last section for Bella, because some parts I'm just like, OMG Bella, or like, yeah, because obviously she's one of the main characters as well. So they're the 6 sections I had, and I'll definitely continue when I continue reading the Twilight series to annotate them. And I will annotate other books as well, because it is an interesting way to read. It just obviously takes a little bit more time. So obviously in April, a lot of my time was reading this and annotating it. I have, as well as tabbed, like highlighted as well. I'm just trying to find a good highlighted bit. Yeah, so I have like highlighted bits as well, and I have also written in comments and things like that as well. So for like this one, I highlighted a bit and then I wrote next to it, OMG Bella, like what were you thinking or doing, or yeah. And then for some things I would just underline them and write as well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun doing my first annotation. But yeah, the book itself I gave 5 stars. Obviously the first time I read it I wasn't into reading like this, so I didn't have a rating. It was actually one of my 26 books to read in 2026 too. So I was planning on reading it at least. What else did I say? So this was a reread from when I was a teenager, as I mentioned. It was good to read it again, and it still holds strong, the story. Definitely holds strong still. And yeah, my first annotation experience. Have any of you guys annotated anything? That was my first time. We have a couple more books to cover. The next one is Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. This is quite a thick one actually, especially for a romance book. This is from the Windy City series. I've heard so much about this series, and I grabbed it at Big W, the whole series, for only like $48 or $49 or something like that. I heard a lot of great things about the Windy City series, so I wanted to give it a go. I gave it 4 stars, so a good rating. What have we got? We've got challenge-wise, we've got, I have a romance challenge that I'm doing, so I popped it under sports romance because there's obviously hockey with the sports team, and there's like a little picture of the male main character inside. I believe each book in Windy Cities does like a different sport, I believe, so that'll be interesting. I also put it as a Disney challenge, a book with a flying theme, because obviously if you've read it you know that they're based on flying in an aeroplane quite a lot, and the female main character is a flight attendant. I just didn't really like how long it was. That was the downfall. So it took a lot of time, yeah, to get to some elements of the story. I actually really enjoyed it, and it was first read from this author and of course the series. It was entertaining. Some of the stuff was quite sad when you got to some of the details of the characters. But it kind of came at a good point, the character building, because I was reading it and obviously there was relationship going on, storyline going on with media and all that sort of thing. And I was thinking, like, you know, why is the male main character like this and why is the female character like this? And then thankfully in the book there was a really depthful explanation of the male main character and then the female main character, and then I was like, so that's why they are the way they are. So that really kept me going with the story and the book, and got me more invested in the characters. So I did appreciate how the author Liz went about her character development. I thought it was really good where she placed it. And yeah, it just built the characters really well, so that the story, yeah, continued really well. And that's probably another reason why the book is quite long, because there's a long extensive explanation of both characters that build. My favorite scene was probably the dog scene. Yeah, the dog adoption scene. It was just really adorable, that scene. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. So we'll keep going with the Windy City series for sure, and see what the other ones are all about, and see what I rate those ones. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I think I popped this one in my quick reviews. But I thought I did, or didn't I pop it in here? I might not have popped it in, because I know it's not in. Oh, I mustn't have popped it in, like wrote it in. That's alright. I did put it in Goodreads and stuff like that. The next one I actually picked up, there was like a couple of days or a day left of the month of April, and I was like, I don't really want to start on my May TBR yet. So I thought I'd pick up this quick one by Frida McFadden called The Dinner Party. It's a pick your own poison adventure. I showed it in my Amazon book haul, and I was super excited for this one because as a kid I loved choose your own adventure stories. I have previously read one as an adult. It's by an Australian indie author and it's fantasy based, and I loved that. I gave it 5 stars. But this one fell short for me. I read it like a few times. I highlighted parts and stuff a couple of times of what I picked as options and stuff like that. I just thought there could have been way more depth to it, and not so much. To me, it was like the start of the story a lot of the time, and even when you got to like the middle kind of choices, it was still like that starting point and build of a thriller story. Maybe thriller stories aren't a way to do choose your own adventures, but to me, like those middle parts of where you were choosing things, it should have been more like scarish and thriller-ish, like this is happening to you, like make the choice of, you know, what the other person's going to do to you, or what you're going to do. Like, are you going to run away, or are you going to get locked in a closet or something? Like, it didn't even go to that kind of seriousness of a thriller. It just always had that starting point, and it didn't really go further than that. It was just like, oh yeah, you're going to this dinner party. The furthest it got was like, oh, you're in the house. That was all that I kind of got from it. So yeah, to me, don't bother with it. I only gave it like 2 stars. And I need to update my journal because it's not in here. It is on Goodreads and stuff though. But that's my thoughts on it. I do like Frida McFadden as an author because I did love The Housemaid when I read it last year. I still need to read more stuff by her to build on the author, but with that one, to me, she could have put more effort into the writing of it and actually had the story go further. Maybe not have as many options as she did, because she said it has like 20 possible endings, maybe like a bit less endings or something like that, and actually have the story go some places. Yeah, that was just my opinion. Or maybe not, as a thriller writer, attempt that kind of style, because it doesn't really work for that genre, I don't think. Anyway, that is my opinion on it. Sorry to close on such a low note, because we had some positives in there as well. If you guys had like a favorite read of April, let me know below. I have been watching a bunch of other people's wrap-up videos for April because I just like to get people's thoughts on some books. Hope you're all enjoying your May reads, whatever they may be. Yeah, and I'm obviously into all of my May reading. And thank you for listening to my wrap-up video for April, listening to me and my perspectives on those. Obviously, we all have our own different opinions on everything, but that is the joy of the book community. Like, we can listen to each other's opinions and either, you know, take from it, or, you know, get some advice, depending on what you like, if you've got similar tastes or not, or, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what's great about our online community. We can just share what we love about reading. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for the next video, which I'm not actually sure what it may be yet. Yeah, there is a lot of April left, so we'll try and do something something fun. Yeah, or we might just, I don't know, we'll see. If not, it'll just be like my next TBR for June, etc. We'll see what eventuates. Until then, have fun reading, and I'll get back to all my reading, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.